Welcome back, everyone. You know, John and I promised that episode 2 would be even better than episode 1. And honestly, I'm a little nervous because John said he was going to reveal my most embarrassing story today. I told him if he does that, I'll tell the world what happened to him on his very first date. So, John, be careful. And hey, before we start, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We know 99% of you just sneak in, listen, laugh, and leave without hitting that little red button. Come on now, hit it. It makes us feel loved.
Haha, Emma, you're already starting with threats. Ha! I like it. But honestly, guys, welcome back. This is episode 2, and we're so excited you're here. Today, we're going to talk about those funny, awkward, and sometimes deep moments of life, The kind of stuff you think about at 2 a.m. when you should be sleeping. And yes, Emma is right. Subscribe right now. Because if you don't, she might actually expose my banana peel incident. Trust me, you don't want to imagine it.
You know what's funny, John? People always say, stay calm under pressure. But let me tell you, I've seen you under pressure. And calm is the last word I'd use. Remember that time we tried to cook spaghetti together? You almost set off the fire alarm. And I've never seen a grown man panic over boiling water like that in my life. If Gordon Ramsay was there, he would have retired on the spot.
Oh, don't act like you were a professional chef that day. Emma, you were standing there holding a wooden spoon like it was a magic wand, hoping the food would cook itself. And by the way, the only reason I panicked was because you screamed first. You scream, I panicked. That's how this friendship works. Honestly, cooking with you is like being on a survival reality show. No one knows what's going to happen, but we're all just hoping to make it out alive.
You know what, though? That's life. We all think adulthood means knowing what we're doing. But in reality, most of us are just guessing. I mean, let's be honest, we Google how to boil an egg at least once in our lifetime. And don't even get me started on taxes. That's the kind of math they should have taught us in school instead of making us find x in triangles.
Exactly. Finding X never paid my bills. But knowing how to save on groceries does. And honestly, Emma, sometimes I think life is just one big improv show. Nobody has a script. We're all making it up as we go. And somehow people expect us to look confident while doing it. My motto, fake it till you make it, and if you can't make it, at least make it funny so people laugh while you struggle.
You know, John, people often ask me why I laugh so much even when things are tough, and my answer is simple. Because crying gives me puffy eyes, and laughing gives me abs. It's a win-win situation. But seriously, I've realized that laughter is like free therapy. You don't need to book an appointment or pay a bill. You just need a silly friend who trips over his shoelaces at the perfect time.
Well, thank you, Emma, for turning my clumsiness into your free therapy session. But you're right. Laughter really is medicine. Sometimes, when life hits hard, all you can do is laugh. I mean, think about it. One day you're young, cool, and full of dreams. And the next day you're excited because you bought a new vacuum cleaner. If that's not comedy, I don't know what is.
You know, John, sometimes I think people take life way too seriously. Like, yes, we have responsibilities, bills, jobs, studies, but if you're constantly stressed out, you'll miss the small joys. For me, it's the little things like sitting by the window when it rains and sipping coffee, or having conversations like this where we just laugh about our failures. I've learned that happiness doesn't always come from big achievements. Sometimes it's just about appreciating the moment you're in. And honestly, if we can't laugh at ourselves, life is going to feel 10 times heavier than it really is.
That's true. People chase after success thinking, once I get this, I'll be happy. But the truth is, happiness is built in small moments. I mean, if you can't enjoy the funny mess of cooking spaghetti together, how are you going to enjoy the bigger things later on? For me, I've realized that the secret to balancing the seriousness of life is giving myself permission to be silly sometimes. to be clumsy, to fail, and to not have it all figured out. Because in the end, nobody does. And the people who pretend to, well, they're usually the most stressed out.
Do you ever notice how, as kids, we were fearless? Like we'd jump off the swings, run around barefoot, and ask all the questions we wanted without caring if it sounded silly. But as adults, suddenly we're too scared to try, too worried about what others will think. And that, John, is where I think we lose half the fun in life. I want to bring back that childlike courage to speak, to laugh loudly, to dance even if people are watching. Because honestly, when you look back, you won't remember the moments you looked cool, but you'll remember the times you were fully alive.
Exactly. Kids don't care about looking foolish, and that's what makes them free. You know, Emma, sometimes I wonder when we stopped asking why about everything. As kids, we question everything. But as adults, we just accept things, even if they don't make sense. Maybe that's why life feels heavier sometimes. Because we stop being curious and playful. That's why I love these conversations with you. They remind me not to take myself too seriously, to laugh at my mistakes, and to always keep questioning. That way.
You know what's also funny, John? When life teaches us lessons the hard way, like you can read all the books and listen to all the advice, but sometimes you won't learn until you mess up yourself. I've had moments where I thought I knew better, only to end up laughing at my own mistakes later. But honestly, those failures, as painful as they felt at the time, shaped me. They taught me patience, humility, and most importantly, not to judge other people because everyone's fighting a battle we can't see.
That's a big one, Emma. I think failure is one of life's best teachers. And yet, most people are terrified of it. But here's the truth, you can't grow without failing. You can't learn to walk without falling first. You can't learn to succeed without stumbling. The way I see it, every mistake I've made has been like a stepping stone. And honestly, if you look at your failures with humor instead of shame, suddenly they don't feel like failures anymore. They feel like stories worth telling.
Do you ever realize how sometimes laughter shows up in the darkest times? Like when everything feels heavy, and suddenly someone cracks a joke that makes you laugh until your stomach hurts. It doesn't solve the problem, but for that moment you feel lighter. I think that's one of the most powerful gifts humans have, the ability to smile in the storm. That's why I surround myself with people who can find humor even in chaos. Because the truth is, life will always bring storms. But having someone who can make you laugh in the middle of them, that's priceless.
Exactly, Emma. And you know what? Laughter is contagious in the best way possible. You could be feeling completely down, but one funny comment from a friend can change your whole mood. That's why I believe it's not just about finding happiness for yourself, but also about sharing it. Like, if you can make one person smile today, you've made the world just a little bit better. Sometimes it's as small as telling a joke at the right time.
You know, John, sometimes I get this thought that we're all just stories waiting to be told. Every failure, every success, every embarrassing moment, it all becomes a story one day. And the funny thing is, when you look back, the moments that made you cry often become the ones you laugh about later. That's why I try to remind myself in the middle of tough times, hey, this is just another story I'll tell later. It doesn't make the pain vanish, but it helps me keep perspective.
That's such a good way to look at it. Emma, I mean, think about it, we don't sit around telling stories of when everything went perfect, do we? No, the stories worth telling are the ones where something went wrong, and we had to figure it out. That's life, messy, unpredictable, but unforgettable. We'd all be a little more patient with ourselves.
You know what I think the real secret to enjoy in life is? Gratitude. Not the fake Instagram kind where people post quotes with sunset pictures, but real gratitude. Waking up and being thankful you have breath in your lungs, a roof over your head, food to eat, and people to love. Because at the end of the day, those are the things that actually matter. Everything else is just decoration. And when you focus on gratitude, suddenly life feels a little lighter. even when things aren't perfect.
Gratitude, yes. That's a game changer. I think we live in a world where people are always looking at what they don't have instead of appreciating what they do. And when you're always chasing what's missing, you'll never feel enough. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It makes you see the beauty in what's already there. Honestly, I've noticed the happiest people aren't the richest or the most successful. They're the ones who know how to appreciate the little things. That's a lesson worth holding on to.
Something else I've learned, John, is that it's okay to not have it all figured out. We live in a society that pressures us to know everything: what career to choose, where to live, what path to take. But the truth is, half the time we're all just figuring it out as we go. And that's okay. There's no shame in not having the answers yet. Life is a journey, not a checklist. And sometimes the best parts of it come from unexpected detours.
That's so true. Honestly, the times when I've been the most lost were also the times I discovered the most about myself. Like, you don't learn who you are when everything is going right. You learn it when you're struggling, when you're forced to make choices in uncertainty. And looking back, I'm grateful I didn't have it all figured out, because the surprises along the way made life richer. I think the problem is, people think being lost means failing. But really, it just means you're exploring.
You know, John, conversations like these remind me why connection is so important. In a world where everyone is glued to their phones, just sitting down and really talking, not texting, not scrolling, but talking feels rare. And yet that's where the magic is. Sharing laughs, sharing wisdom, sharing stories. Human connection is what keeps us alive, more than food, more than money. That's why I always tell people, find your tribe. The people you can be yourself with and never let them go.
Exactly, Emma. We live in a digital age where people have thousands of online friends but still feel lonely. It's because real connection can't be replaced by likes or emojis. You need to hear someone's laughter, feel someone's presence, share real moments. And that's what I love about this podcast. We get to connect with each other and with everyone listening. It's like building a small community where laughter, honesty, and positivity are welcome. That's something social media can't replace.
So here we are, wrapping up episode 2. And honestly, John, I feel like these conversations are the highlight of my week. They remind me to slow down, to laugh, to reflect, and to share. And to everyone listening right now, thank you. Thank you for giving us your time, for laughing with us, and for being part of this little family we're building. Don't forget, we notice most of you still aren't subscribed. Come on now, hit that subscribe button. Join us for more episodes, more laughter, and more honesty. Because this isn't just a podcast. It's a journey we're all sharing together.
Yes, thank you, everyone. You've made it to the end of episode 2. And that means you're officially one of the special ones. We hope today made you laugh, made you think, and maybe even helped you see life in a lighter way. And hey, we've got episode 3 coming up, so don't miss it. Until next time, stay positive, stay silly. And remember, if life gives you spaghetti, just try not to burn down the kitchen.